a chance to relax there, did you?
No, it was a good game of footy from the start. Both teams came out with an intent to try and move the ball with some speed. You could see that early, and Brisbane probably jumped us a bit in the start of it. We probably a bit inaccurate in the first quarter, and then I thought we played pretty well in the second and third quarter. In the last quarter, they came again and were able to hold on. So, really pleasing win. We came up here needing a win, obviously, to keep the season going, and the guys got it done.
Yeah, I guess their medal was a little bit inconsistent, a little bit wasteful maybe. Had a lot of inside 50s, so you didn't do much, but the overriding thing is probably still that you managed to win, isn't it?
Oh yeah, as I said, it was a real arm wrestle all night. There wasn't, I think we got out to 20 odd points at one stage, but even then they sort of pegged it back immediately. And we knew coming in they'd been in some really good form and played, obviously won their last three and played some really good footy, and we knew what they were capable of, and we saw that tonight. I mean, that's, if you're a Brisbane supporter walking away, you're probably thinking, well, that's a glimpse into the future, and it's probably it looks pretty bright for them, which is credit to their club and the work they've done. From our viewpoint, it was we needed 4 points, and I was really pleased with the way the guys fought on, and especially in the last quarter when we were 2 men down with both Dudes and Murph off with the concussion. We were sort of spinning him and trying to keep as much fresh legs as we could on the ground against the side who was coming at us. So it was good to get over the line.
Were your players pretty cooked by the end of the game with those two players down?
It certainly has an influence, and I think Dudes went off, I think, about midway through the third quarter, and obviously Murph towards the end of it. It just means you're down to 2, and it does have an impact, and you can sort of see the guys coming off. They were blowing, and the game was a high intensity game. I mean, it was fairly quick on the transition, and the way both sides were trying to move the ball was forcing high level of running, and as I say, we hung on and got the win.
Back to some of your better footy, do you think?
Yeah, there were patches of it tonight. Definitely, I thought we since the bye, I think we've played. The exception of maybe the Richmond game, I think we've shown some real signs about how we want to play. Not just in the way we move the ball, but I think our pressure overall has been the thing which has stood out. We've been able to force some turnovers more frequently than we were, say, in the first part of the year, and getting a few players back, and obviously we'll get Tex back again next week, and that'll again just bolster the side.
Cool, guys. Just one on Hugh Greenwood. Obviously, like without Tex, and you're looking for more avenues to goal. Can you tell us what you thought?
Yeah, well, Hugh's, we sort of, when we first recruited Hugh, he came in as a forward. But we've, through the period of his time at the footy club, sort of been able to develop him into a guy who's capable of winning his own ball and pretty effectively around the stoppage. But we know that he can play forward, and we saw that tonight. I think he had 7 shots at goal, kicked 4, probably should have kicked his 5th there at the end, would have made my last 2 minutes a bit easier. But no, really pleasing for Hugh. We know that he can go forward, his pressure's good, and he obviously caught a few tonight, which was great.
Any word on how bad those two are in the injury?
No, look, from what I gather, they were, obviously they were ruled out under the concussion protocol, so they'll enter the normal process we'll go through in terms of their testing and bits and pieces, and as I say, we'll see how they come up, and we're hopeful they'll be ready for next week, but obviously we'll have their welfare at foremost before we make those decisions.
So has Murphy got a broken nose as well, or did it just look like that?
Quite possibly he's got a broken nose. I haven't checked. It looks a bit bent, but it's an occupational hazard.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.